Darrin Cook of Big Stick Combat. I'd like to share something with you that I saw a guy was teaching on the cane, and he said this is what I refer to as a pistol grip thrust. Now you can do it on a crook handled cane. You're going to grab it. Basically, you're grabbing the handle, and your forearm is in line with the thrust. And this teacher was saying, well, you don't want to do this. If somebody rushes you, you can't get your hand out of the way, and you could break your wrist. He says, on the other hand, if you grip like the typical thrust, that the stick just slip through, and you're less likely to damage your wrist. I just thought that I have to disagree. I think and this is one of the advantages of the T-handled cane, is that notice what happened. Here the hand is. This is the hand at its strongest. Once the fist is in line with the forearm, or hold it this way, the fist is in line with the forearm. As I pronate that hand, the wrist becomes weaker. So here, with this hand bent at an angle, this is a weaker position of the wrist. Whereas here, notice that like a punch, and if you can punch, you practice. If you can hit a heavy bag, then you know how to keep this fist in line with this forearm. So this technique here is much stronger, and I would argue that your odds of breaking the wrist are much, much less. And this pistol thrust is potentially one of the strongest thrusts that you can deliver with a cane. And the last thing I should say is, and that's one of the problems with the hook cane, is that the hook, because it is curved, it isn't clear where to grip it. You grip it too high, again, your wrist pronates. You grip it too low, and the wrist tilts in the opposite direction. The advantage of the T-handled cane is that it's very easy to get this grip perpendicular to the shaft and in line with the forearm and the cane. So pistol thrust, I would argue, one of the strongest thrusts you can make with a cane.